So hello yet again. Couple things real quick on the assembly of this. The rest of this is done. I have to get the drill to drill the plug before the pump goes in. Something I forgot about that I'm glad I did check. So some 400s in the case under the center support have this thin snap ring. The internals out of this, minus the input drum and the pump, a couple other things, were all out of a 68. They do not take, on the earlier ones that I've ever seen, the snap ring. And when I checked it, with the snap ring in the case, the center support end, it would not allow you to put the snap ring in to retain it. So, snap ring is left out. The later units have a little bit of a groove that you can see just above the lugs, and these are a little bit thinner than the early. So keep that in mind. If Frankenstein in one of these things together and center support doesn't go in, that's probably what the problem is. So there's a thick and a thin. Thin takes a snap ring, the thick doesn't. This here I almost forgot about. So the real early 400s, 64, 5, and apparently some 6s, but anyhow, we'll just say 64 and 5. The forward clutch hub, the splines in here are a little bit different. It'll fit, this is a late model main shaft, and it'll fit, so you can't run the later hub on an early main shaft. It won't fit. Now if you run the early hub, like this is what this is out of 65, to the late main shaft, there's a problem. And we're going to show you. You can see how sloppy that is. I mean, it's insane. So it'll work for a little while till it strips the splines out, or breaks the hub. So everything else in my unit's done. I do have to drill the hole for the plug, put it in, pump goes in. Wanted to show you the differences on that stuff. So again, early forward clutch hubs are different, bigger spline. So I just put a later model forward clutch hub in this one, and its splines are good and tight and all that. Center support, two different ones on the earlier 400s. And let's see here. On the pump, this is kind of different here. So on the pump, you have to actually put the gasket on. Other than setting it in the case first, dropping the pump in, you have to put the gasket on because the stator solenoid screws to it. So that is a difference on these to the others. Now this, I'm going to splice back to the harness, but I've checked this, taken it apart, cleaned it, it's fine, it works. So do have to have the keeper there. Still got to do the valve body. That wire passes down through here and out here, and I'll probably make something off one of these bolts to retain it. Now you can see we have our 2-prong case connector there. I have an original internal connector, which I'm going to splice one of these to the red wire, and the kickdown solenoid there, I can actually just slide that into the correct terminal, and I'll do more on that later. So this is the correct plug on the inside even to snap on, so that's good. So there we go. On assembly, no big deal. The pump gasket, obviously is different as far as it's got to be on the pump before it goes in. Got to make the plug. Watch for this, because I can definitely see somebody having an issue there. And the deal with the center support. So close, almost done. Can't wait to get this thing in and see what it does. So again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that happy stuff. It's raining. I'm going home. Woo!